guys, it's Migs with Market Open. Let's go ahead and do the Market Open recap. I think there's a very important lesson in today's trades that will help save you a lot of money. And it actually ended up being one of my very first trades that I took on Alcoa. So as you guys can see this morning, I had PRTA, AKRX, Hasbro, CBI, and Alcoa. They were actually all shorts. There were no longs that I really liked. So now with that being said, I leaned into Alcoa with a $200 risk, and I shorted it right at 54.47. So just like I've been doing lately, I'm doing a lot of failed shorts, and I just kind of wait for the stock to pull up. It's failed moving any higher. I shorted it as it came down below this, and I got triggered right in at 54.47. Now my stop was going to be here over the highs. Now this is the very, very important part that will save you a lot of money, because this has happened to me multiple times on both ends where I didn't put my stop in the correct place, or I cut it a little bit too short and it actually ended up going the right way. So you have to have your stop in the right place. Now, to me, for a short like this, my stop is usually high of day. So with high of day, we're talking the market just opened. So I got triggered right at 9:32. High of day technically is, if you guys see that, it says 54.91 right where it says H. It says 54.91, right? So technically my stop is 54.92. So I don't put it at 54.90, 54.91. I put it at 54.92, because what that signifies is that there are sellers sitting right there at that price that are willing to push down the stock, that have shares available that the buyers need to be able to get through to get to the higher level. So that's why you need to have it over the highs, 1 cent over the highs, not at the highs. Because if you guys will notice, I almost got kicked out right here in this candle, but it didn't trigger, and I was 2 pennies away. So if you guys will notice here, the high on this candle is very fast. It was 54.90, and if it went over 54.92, I was just going to push the sell button, but it never actually did that. So now it's very, very important. That's why you have your stop at the correct place, and over or under low or high of day, or whichever one you're doing, whether you're going long or short. So obviously if I was going long, and let's just say I got triggered here at 54.60, my stop is low a day, then the low of this candle is 54.20, so therefore my stop would be at 54.19. So if it falls, it hits low a day and it bounces, I'm fine. But if it breaks below that, then we're having an issue. So let's see here. So that was the first trade on AA. I started taking some of my position off at 53.99 as it broke under the 54. So 53.99, another 50 at 53.58, and another 50 at 53.20. I ended up making somewhere around $200. Don't really remember. It was maybe like 220 or something. And then the very next trade I took, CBI, which was another candidate. But now looking back on it, I really shouldn't have taken this, because there was a level where it bounced at. So a CBI was also gapping down this morning. It gapped down from 54.50 down to the low was 11.57, but it opened somewhere in the middle. Now, if you guys will notice here, I have this level marked out. And what this level corresponds to is something on the daily chart. So it's the 52-week low. So 52-week lows are very significant, because people know that within the past year, that's the lowest point, and usually there's a lot of support. So there's actually a lot of plays, and people come in and scoop up stocks that are at 52-week lows. Investors do all the time, and people like to sell at 52-week highs. So knowing where the 52-week low and 52-week high is also very important to point out on your daily chart. So I had marked it out here on this level, and as you can see, it bounced right to the T. So on CBI, let's see here, I took it right at 9:33. So if it went under this, I would have gotten triggered. It didn't. Very next candle, it came up and under this. To me, this was telling me that it was starting to fail. It went under the 9, stop high a day. Now, I took 500 shares short, and very next candle, I believe, yep, this candle. So 2 candles later, I got kicked out. with a $195 loss. So very unfortunate. Let's see here. It got kicked out right at 1282. So I was up maybe 20, 30 bucks during the time. Took another short on CBI. I was thinking, okay, this thing has to come down. A stock doesn't have to do anything. Remember that. All right, so next short I took on CBI here at 150 shares. I want to say it's probably somewhere around here. I took a little starter position here. 150 shares, I think it was maybe risking 20, 30 bucks or so. It was right at 946. So to me, right here, this signifies a lower high. Actually, hold on a second. No, it was on the 1 minute. Right here. So to me, this signifies a lower high. So, or actually, no, it was a double top. So right here at 1325, right here we double topped. And I was going to start adding to the position right here under 1290. So it broke. I got triggered right at 1286. Stop high a day. So I was risking about 50 bucks. So, and then as it came down here, I was going to add, because if we're double topping, the spot to add right here is under 1275. Now, added 150 shares, then I had another 150, then I added another 300. So then now I was wagering again 200, and I was full size in this position. So let's see here. Came down, got triggered, and it didn't want to keep coming down. So the issue was I was like going to have to start dealing with it again. And as you can see, it was sitting here holding the 9. I got kicked out right at 1313. Instead of having it at high a day, if it was going to hold and start trending back up, because you can see this candle here has a lot of volume behind it. So it's higher volume than the red candles, which means that there's more buyers than there are sellers. And so I went ahead and had my stop over here. Let's see here, 1317, I believe, and got kicked out probably in that candle. So let's see here, it was short, got kicked out right at 10 o'clock. So right here in this candle, yep, got kicked out right at the top. So now down on the name CBI, I'm down, wagered $200 on each one. I was wrong on both. So then, just like my rule says, if you trade it twice, you lose on both, you're done trading for the day. So I just basically just moved it out of the way. CBI, then I took a trade on AKRX. They're both kind of irrelevant. I took a stab at AKRX and I lost $6. So let's just go over it real quick. It's another gap down this morning. So right here, I believe I wanted to short it right at 1313, but I missed it, and it gave me a quick upside candle, and so I went ahead and shorted it at 1323 as it was coming back up. Now later on I found out that was going to be a mistake, because it should have really kept coming back. So usually what they'll do is they'll pull up and then they'll just pull right back. It could have been a fat finger, could have been a mistake by somebody buying too many shares usually. But in this case it wasn't. It just kind of held, and I noticed that it made another quick move up, and that was going to be my stop. So I was only 300 shares short here at 1323, and I got out. That's right, short at 1321, and I went ahead and got out at 1323 right at 1006. So as it was kind of moving sideways, you wanted a candle like that to pull up and then just pull right back. So as it was moving sideways, I kind of suspected that it was going to go higher. As you can see, it's actually climbing higher. So when it's not really going your way, either be right or be right out. That's one of my favorite sayings, because when it starts consolidating and it starts coming back up, it's actually building strength to go higher. So got out of that relatively quick, and let's see here, what was my next trade? AKRX. Now, AA. I took another trade on AA. Now this is typically something I would wait for it to hit VWAP, but it looked really, really, really good, and the daily and everything looked perfect. So I went ahead and took it double size. So I went ahead and took 600 shares, shorted it right at 53.11, and it was a perfect bear flag. So a bear flag is you're going down, you pull back either to the 9 or VWAP. I usually prefer the VWAP because the bear flags have not really been working out in my favor most of the times. But this one just looked really, really good. It came up, it threw a reverse hammer, which it means that it tried to go up and it got sold off. It went red and it's just hanging out near lows. So now my trigger here was the low of this candle. So it pulls back up for the flag, hits the 9, gets rejected. Low of this candle is 53.14. Let's see here. I shorted right at 53.11 and I rode it down all the way down to 52.75. As you can see, I could have gotten a lot more out of it, but with already being down on CBI, I went ahead and took my 1-to-1 like I'm supposed to. I just knew I was going to ride down the other 100 shares near 52, or try to part out all the way down to 52. So let's see here. So shorted, covered another 50 at 52.46. Another $50 on that, and then covered my last 50 right at 52.20. My initial target was going to be 52.11. I wanted a full point out of this, but when I saw it hit 52.13 and just come right back up, and then it just kind of balanced out somewhere around 52.20, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm up on this, $70, $80 extra than what I took my partial from, so let me go ahead and take these profits. So ended up $555 up on AA, and then took a very impulsive trade on HBI, but now I see it would have worked out perfectly. So HBI was actually a long trade that I took for today, and I took 1,000 shares initially. So you'll see I went long, 1,000 shares, 18.10. Just as the opposite as the bear flag, where this is a bull flag. So we have the 9 crossing VWAP, and it's starting to curl back up. It pulled back to support, and I really should have stuck with this. It's just I wasn't really trying to chance it. So it was just kind of teeter-tottering back and forth, but I'll show you guys as I saw it. So right here, I noticed that you have the whole number, you have 9, and you have VWAP there. So I went ahead and got 100 shares long. I got filled a little high. I wanted to get filled somewhere around the 1808, 1809. But I got filled at 18.10, and now as it started teeter-tottering back and forth, just kind of playing around, and I was already green on the day, so I didn't really want to mess it up, and so I went ahead and took 500 shares off, and then after that I took the rest of them off. I wasn't really quite comfortable with what the market was doing, so the market was within a range this morning. As you guys can see, for the first 2 hours, we're just kind of sitting here back and forth with absolutely no direction. So for me to hope that the market's going to start heading back towards high day, and for me to be able to get 18.20 out of it, or a little bit higher than that, it was kind of a 50-50 shot. It was kind of risky for me. So if the market had picked a direction and it stopped going lower and started heading higher, then I would have been all for it. But the market didn't really quite have a direction during this time. For the first 2 hours, which is usually when I trade, so I went ahead and just took the $10 loss. I mean, it's not a big deal. Really big trade on AA, pretty big loss on CBI. If I hadn't had this, it would have been an amazing day. But one goes well, you just got to know how to maximize your winners. One goes south, and you have to know how to cut your losses very quickly. When it's not going your way, right here, it's either be right or be right out. HBI, just playing it safe. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit, especially with that AA trade. I think that's very, very important for you guys to know that you have to have your stop in the correct place. Otherwise, you're going to get taken out very easily. And that's happened to me multiple times. And it's very unfortunate when it does happen, because you'll see it, it'll kick you out, and then it'll continue to go your way. And there's nothing that's more demoralizing than something like that. So hopefully you guys take that away from this lesson.
Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you have not joined us yet on their Facebook group, make sure to do that. The link will be down in the description below, where I post my watch list for you guys every single day. Lastly, if you guys are curious on how I learn how to trade, I provided you guys with a discount code in the description. It comes with one-on-one mentoring, classes, and buying power. So make sure to take advantage of that. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.